Hello, YouTube. I'm Blissful Lynn, and welcome to the Bliss Fam. Today we're going to be talking about dating. A lot of times when I guess a person, they may have divorced, or they might be late getting married, or they may have had a spouse to pass away and they're trying to get back into the dating scene. First and foremost, one of the things I guess to suggest not to do is to try to compare the new person that you're meeting to the person that you had before, or your ex, or your last partner, because a lot of times the person can get offended, and that's something that they don't want to hear. You don't want somebody comparing you to somebody else, or they did this, or they used to do this, or they did it like this. You don't want to hear that. So just remember, don't bring that into the relationship about your past ex, because the other person, the new person, they don't want to be compared to your ex. So that's the one thing that you need to leave, throw that out the window. To the left. Okay, the next thing is going to be conversation. You gotta make sure when you're meeting that person to have a good conversation with them, as far as like, what are their goals, religious purposes, are they have kids, do you want more kids, or can you even have kids? So those are conversation topics that you need to have. And another thing, I guess, to find out their sexual preference as well, because you want to make sure that, you know, they are, let me put it like this, you want to make sure you know what you're getting into. So you might want to make sure if they swing, or if they do, you know, things that you're not in line with, to, you know, have that conversation with them so you'll know up front, so you won't be surprised later on. And also ask people if they're married once you get back in the dating scene, because sometimes they might be separated or a long separation, just so you'll know, because a lot of times people won't volunteer information to you. So instead of you assuming, it's best to ask those questions. So it's 50 Cent, 21 questions. So it's just best to get everything out on the table so you'll know what you're dealing with before you get involved with that person. Another thing, if you're wanting to get married and you know that you have issues, work on yourself and your issues first before you try to get involved with another relationship. Make sure if you're insecure that you get your insecurities worked out. And a lot of times people, if they have a bad relationship, if the person was a cheater, they'll try to think that the new person is a cheater without even giving them an opportunity. You have to give a person an opportunity to prove themselves, instead of assuming that they're going to be just like the next person, because everybody's different. Everybody's their own person. So it's best to know them and to give them a clean slate. And when they mess up and do something different, then it's a different story. But until then, treat everybody with, I guess, open mind, or be open-minded about the relationship, and to give them an opportunity to prove themselves before assuming that everybody's the same, because everybody's not the same. And yeah, like I was saying, if you're wanting to get married, act like it. Start, you know, preparing yourself for marriage by getting if you have a house, and say for instance your spouse passed away, you want to, you know, and you know that you want to remarry and have someone else there with you, you'll need to make room for that person. So start preparing, you know, maybe, you know, going through your spouse's things and, you know, putting them up, you know, when the time comes, so that you're preparing yourself for that new relationship. that you know, want to have, or that you're longing to have. And another thing, you know, with, as I guess to touch on, like if a spouse, if you lost a spouse, or if a spouse passed, I know it's going to be hard for you to get into the dating scene again, but I'm pretty sure your spouse will want you to be happy. So, don't, you know, feel bad about, you know, dating someone else, you know, when the time is right for you. To date again, it's okay, you know, after you've grieved and you're ready, but it has to be when you're ready to do it, not somebody forcing you to do it. It has to be on your terms, because that's a sensitive, you know, situation. Another thing, I guess, with getting back into the dating scene, make sure you have yourself together. I know I'm looking crazy right now, but if I was on the dating scene, best believe I would, you know, have myself together to be ready. So if you're a man and you're looking for a female, or wanting to get married and get back on the dating scene, make sure you have those fresh haircuts and them lineups. And the females, make sure you have yourself together as well. So, like I said, if I was on the dating scene, best believe I would, you know, have it together. But I just wanted to touch in with you all to give you all a few pointers if you're ready to get back on the dating scene and looking for that significant other. And I wish you all the best of luck with your relationship. And just remember to communicate. Make sure they y'all on the same page and y'all get all those questions in. And so don't, you know, worry about if it's too many questions. You need to know. If you don't ask, you might not find out. So you got to ask so you'll know what's going on. So if you have any questions, comments on anything, drop it down in the comments. And I hope you come back to visit with us again. I'm Blissful Lynn, and you all have a nice day. Peace.